Have you ever wondered what really goes into a great lesson? I mean, one that doesn't just teach you stuff, but actually builds your confidence? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a 50-minute English lesson plan called Lifting Me Up that's designed to do exactly that. So let's dive in and see how it all comes together. It all boils down to this one question, right? How do you take something as basic as, hello, my name is, and turn it into a genuine, powerful moment of self-expression for students? That's the challenge, and this lesson plan tackles it head on. We're going to walk through the whole thing, step by step. Okay, so first things first. Every good lesson needs a solid foundation. Before you jump into any fun activities, you've got to have your goals locked in. This is where the teacher basically draws the roadmap for the entire class. Now, what's so cool about this is how it breaks down the journey. The main focus seems simple enough. Just talk about yourself. But then you look at the learning outcomes and performance standards. It's not just about talking. It's about listening, being creative with information, and really communicating in a meaningful way. You see, this isn't just a speaking lesson. It's a whole communication lesson from top to bottom. With our roadmap in place, it's time to get things moving. You know, those first few minutes of a class are absolutely crucial. They can make or break the whole vibe. This lesson kicks things off with a warmer that's all about building energy and community from the second students walk in. And here it is, the name cheer. It sounds simple, but it's pretty brilliant. Just by standing in a circle, you've immediately created this inclusive shared space. No one's hiding in the back. Adding a clap after your name, that brings in a physical rhythm. It wakes everyone up. And that final step, repeating the names together, that's the real magic. It reinforces memory and, more importantly, starts to build a real team identity. Okay, so the energy is up, everyone's feeling comfortable. Now we get to the core of the lesson, giving the students the actual tools they need to express themselves. Let's see how it builds up, starting with the smallest piece of the puzzle, a single word. You can't build a sentence without words, right? So before anything else, the lesson introduces this key vocabulary. And notice, these aren't just random words. They're all about subjects, jobs, and hobbies, the exact things students will need to talk about their own lives and dreams. These are literally the building blocks for the rest of the class. Now, this is a classic teaching method, and for good reason. It works. The first time through, you're just listening to get the gist of it. The second time, you're listening for details, and you're actively writing things down. And the third time, that's all about checking your work. It's a fantastic way to build comprehension layer by layer so no one gets overwhelmed. And here is where it all clicks. This is the moment listening turns into speaking. By giving students these simple sentence frames, these little structures like I like or I want to be the lesson makes it so much easier to start talking. It lowers the fear factor and empowers them to take that vocabulary they just learned and immediately put it to use to talk about themselves. It's a game changer. So we've covered listening, we've covered speaking. Now the lesson goes even deeper. It moves into a really creative and personal phase, asking students not just to talk about who they are right now, but to actually visualize who they want to become. This Future Me Picture activity is just so great. It takes an abstract idea like, I want to be a scientist, and makes it real, something you can actually see. For just a few minutes, students get to dream on paper. And this isn't just a little art break. It's a really powerful way to get them thinking about their goals and connecting with them on a personal level. So with all this going on, how does the teacher know if it's actually working? That's where the progress check comes in. It's such a simple, low-pressure way for students to show how they're feeling. Are they confident? A little unsure? By just coloring a face, they're practicing self-awareness, and the teacher gets instant, super valuable feedback on who might need a little extra support. You know, a really effective lesson doesn't just end when the bell rings. The final piece of this puzzle is all about extending that learning, taking the skills they just practiced in the classroom and bringing them into the students' everyday lives. The take-home task is to create a vocabulary journal. And what's fantastic here is the flexibility. It doesn't matter if a student has a simple notebook and some crayons or a laptop with fancy software. The core activity is the same. Engage with the words. This kind of adaptability is so important because it means every single student can keep learning no matter what resources they have at home. And here's a peek at what that journal entry could look like. It's not just about writing the word down. It's structured to make you think, what's the meaning? What are some similar words? And then you have to create a visual for it. This approach hits the information from multiple angles, which really helps lock it into your memory. So as we wrap up our little deconstruction here, it kind of leaves us with one big thought. We've walked through all these different activities from vocabulary lists to name cheers to drawings, but maybe Just maybe the real goal of a lesson called Lifting Me Up isn't just about mastering a few English sentences. Maybe it's about giving a kid the tools and, more importantly, the confidence to finally say, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be. Makes you think, doesn't it?